So again, resilience is a process. Anybody can learn it. Anybody can grow in it. Wherever you are, you can start from where you are today.
Hi, my name is Dr. Rola, clinical psychologist, and today I want to talk about how to get across to your team. How to get across to your team. As a parent of a teenager, you want to be a confident parent, somebody who is secure in your beliefs about what you're asking your teen to do. Your teenager is in a time of questioning, asking, and analyzing. It's important that you come across as confident. And the most important thing you do to get across to your teen is by being an effective communicator. The kind of person that sets rules that are fair, provides structure for the teenager and for the other children in the home, provides a leadership role, and communicates in a way that makes it easier for the teenager to comply. So I'm going to give you some tips as to how to communicate effectively. The first thing is I want you to talk to your teenager in a clear and distinct manner. You don't need to raise your voice so loud because you come across as if you're defensive, as if you expect this to be a battle. And you don't want to sound so passive in a way that your teenager doesn't take you seriously. You want to speak clearly and distinctly as if you're having a normal conversation, because you're acting as if you expect your teenager to comply with what you're saying. So there's no need to be argumentative or passive about it. The second thing I want you to do is speak in a simple and give orders or instructions in a simple and concise manner. Don't give 100 instructions. That makes it very difficult. 100 is an exaggeration, but don't give 10, 11 instructions in a few minutes. And then it becomes difficult for your teenager to know which one of them they should carry out first. If possible, break it down so that you can monitor to see if that behavior you're asking your teenager to engage in is actually being done. Because part of being an effective and assertive parent is when you ask your teenager to do something, you are going to go back to check to see if what you ask them to do is being done. And if they do it, you're going to reward them with praise or anything else. And if they don't do it, there are going to be consequences for that. So don't throw out so many instructions. Break it down if necessary and let it be very clear what you're trying to say to your teenager. Thirdly, let your teenager repeat back to you what you're telling your teenager, just so you're sure that your teenager understands what you're saying. When your teenager repeats that back to you or they say something that may be incorrect, make sure that they repeat in a way that you understand and they understand what the conversation is about. And thank your teenager for listening and say, okay, now that you understand what I'm asking you to do, can you now go and do it, please? So you're being very directive, and again, you're being very confident in communicating with your teenager. Make sure you have full eye contact. Number 4 tip. Make sure you have full eye contact. If there's TV blasting, tablets on, put that aside, put your phone aside, tell the teenager to put theirs aside and say, I want to have a conversation with you. And it doesn't have to take a long time because you're going to be directive and you want focus. Make sure that you come across in a way that your teenager understands that you are not just saying it, you actually mean what you say and you're saying what you mean. If your teenager is trying to get you to change your mind or not to do what you've decided that you want them to do, stick to your guns, be consistent. Now, what about some of the challenges you may face in trying to communicate this way? The very first thing is your teenager may say to you, Mom, I have my own feelings about this. I want to tell you what's on my mind. Or Dad, I have my own feelings about this. I want to tell you what's in my mind. I would say to the teenager, finish and carry out what I'm asking you to do. And then when you're done with what I'm asking you to do, then I'm going to give you audience. I'm going to listen to you. Give the teenager the opportunity after they've done what you asked them to do to meet with you. Put your phone aside and listen to the teenager the same way you ask your teenager to listen to you. And then the second that you may be challenged with, what if your teenager is resistant? They're thinking, here we go again. Why is Mom being this directive with me? Why is Mom sitting down and telling me to put the tablets away? And maybe their body language is somewhat resistant. Tell your teenager and say to them, I may not have been talking to you this way before, But at this point in time, I want to take your feelings seriously, and I want to take you to take mine seriously. I want us to start listening to each other better. So this is a way in which I'm beginning to engage with you. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to try to make sure that the rules that you apply to this one child is consistent across the board. We know that children are different, so you're not going to have the same instructions and directive for each child. But try to adopt this method of being direct in your communication with all children, whether they're doing what you want them to do all the time or not doing what you want them to do all the time. Make sure that you are consistent with all the children. Let the child know that they are responsible for their behavior. Don't make it look like you're the only one who is in control of this. You are in control, my son, my daughter, of what happens to you if you follow my directions. If you don't follow my directions, you're in control. You're going to get consequences. If you follow my directions, you're going to get rewards. So let that teenager be responsible for their behavior. Now, you want to make sure as a parent that you come across in a way that your teenager sees you as a credible authority, somebody who is fair, somebody who is respectful of his or her feelings. You want to get things done. You want your child to respect your authority, but you don't want to break their spirit. Try to move away from methods of giving orders that are threatening, calling names, you're stupid, you're dumb, well, you're lazy, I can't believe you're doing this. Come across in a positive manner. You want to pass on information, but you don't want to break your kid's self-esteem, your kid's spirit. You want to enhance their self-esteem while you're giving directions. Now, you also don't want to be so passive, always asking questions. When are you going to go to bed? When are you going to clean your room? You come across as somebody that doesn't know what they want. They're not going to respect you. You want to come across as confident. You want to cross as somebody who is setting an example of how to communicate well. When you communicate like this, you're not just getting compliance, you're getting your kids respect by the way you're communicating, and you're setting an example for your kid and showing them how to communicate in an effective manner. So take charge as a parent. Be an effective communicator. Remember, these tips are giving you: give full eye contact, speak in a simple and concise way, speak distinctly, don't raise your voice unnecessarily, and don't be so passive, and follow through with what you say with supervision. Make sure it's carried out. You want to be the kind of parent that can give an order, and the kids need to know that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to enforce it. If something I've said you've enjoyed, you've liked, let me know. Let's keep this conversation going.